Huge weekend. We're both pretty big on the 49ers points. Little did we know you could have taken the money line too. Dol, thoughts on last week? Any big announcements? How'd you do on the weekend?
Great weekend, great week. Underdogs going 9-5 against the spread, and all those underdogs that covered, you could have left the points at home. They all won. Dogs were barking last week. Had it on all the primetime games. Niners on Thursday, Jags last night, Monday night, the Pats on Sunday night, versus the Bills, and just great overall week.
Yeah, it was incredible. If you watched the pod last week, you are very happy today. I just want to recap a few of my picks. We bought Juve up to plus 10.5 and Kansas State to plus 10.5. We didn't even need to buy it up at plus 132. That hit. I did have Texas money line and Kentucky brought up to plus 24.5, but I had a bigger bet on West Virginia plus 22 and Kentucky plus 22. By the skin of my teeth, that hit. I knew it was going to be a great week. Did do terrible on Penn State. I had their spread. I had minus 16.5. I had minus 11. I had minus 7. I had minus 6.5. I had money line. So all that good that I did Thursday night, Friday, and Saturday wiped away. But all in all, the record was incredible. And then I went into Sunday even, maybe actually probably even down a couple bucks. But then Sunday hit. And I just want to read to you real quick my couple cash cows where they went incredible. So I had plus 511, Barkley to score, Henry to score, and Nico Collins to score. Never even a doubt, except for Henry to score. That was pretty scary. And then I had Achan, Laporta, and Derrick Henry for plus 744. Easy hit outside of Henry. And then I had, of course, our guy, Sam Laporta, first touchdown. I think he caught it on the 12-yard line, ran it in, plus 1,200. We had a massive free play bet on that. And then we had Sam Laporta parlayed with Jamar Chase. Those were probably the only bets I took on Sunday outside of the picks I gave the pod, and it was a incredible day. It actually might have been the best betting day in my life, but excited to get in this week. Dalt, any other thoughts? I mean, the Cardinals blew a crazy game. Your team blew a what? 17-0. Look, Penn State and Tech ripped my heart out. I'm not coming at you. Any thoughts on last week?
No comment.
Okay. We did have Vikings money line, which hit, and I took it live. I'm mad we stayed away from the Colts. We had the Saints, we had the Cowboys, I had the Eagles. I ended up taking Broncos plus 4.5 live. I would have had the Dolphins, but didn't take it at the last minute. Luckily, I didn't. I know you were on the Texans. Probably should have tailed that. And then me and you were both. We're on Bucks plus 3. We were actually pretty ecstatic to have Bucks and just giving Baker the chance. And I will say that was a great game, great football game.
Yeah,
All right,
what turned out to be what looked like a bunch of terrible games ended up actually. And the 1 o'clock games are pretty bad, but all the primetime 4 o'clock games are great.
yeah, was a little mad. Brian Thomas did not find the end zone, but had his over in yards, which hit from that last drive. I had Travis Kelsey parlayed with him, which hit, and then I had Xavier Worthy over 4.5 rushing yards. It dropped from 7.5 to 4.5 as they announced he was playing, and so I had to get all over that. But we had Jags plus 3. That was our main bet, and it was just a phenomenal week. I am so thrilled to go into this week. Let's get it started. We're gonna do Thursday night football. Then we're gonna do college football. I actually have a ton of games I love, and then we will go game by game in NFL. Dalt, Thursday night football. Your team, 7.5, quickly down to 7, which I have my thoughts, but you go first. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, Jackson Dart looked good week 1. Just went and lost to one of the worst teams in the NFL at home. Going into MetLife, I still feel it's the Saquon revenge. Only playing there now his second time. I even as an Eagles fan, it's tough to get myself to lay the 7 points. Just the way the season's going and how the games have finished up, it's obvious that there's something going on internally that nobody really knows. But Gonna stick with my boys. I'm gonna wait till there's a real scare in me with this team where I don't trust them. So I'm gonna be taking 7 points. I think a lot of people will be taking the Giants +7 at home, especially coming off a loss. Eagles coming off a loss. We'll see where the public's at, but I will be taking the Eagles. Or realistically, I will probably have just the Eagles money line. Won't even take the 7, but we'll see when game time comes.
Yeah, I no pick here that I'm gonna give or put in the comments, but I will be on. I mean, just had my second best week ever. I have to try and roll some momentum. I will be on AJ Brown yards over. I will probably ladder it up one or two. I will be on AJ Brown anytime, and I will be on him to have two. I think he's due. They tried to get him the ball last game. He had 5 catches. You could tell they were trying to get him the ball, but he just had the best cornerback in the league on him and still had 5 catches. Giants D line is good. I don't hate the linebackers, but I expect AJ Brown to win his matchup. I see him finding the end zone, and I will be sprinkling on Eagles minus 13 and a half. I honestly think it's going to be low scoring. I think we're going to see the best version of the Eagles defense yet. I think Saquon will continue to struggle a little bit, but all in all, it should be good, and I expect the Eagles receivers to find the end zone. Let's go to college football, doll. Any teams that you're buying or selling right now?
Yeah, I got one that I'm selling real hard. Right located right in central PA, Penn State Nittany Lions. I think James Franklin's going to get fired. It's just, I think it's a real tragic incident. What's going down there? I think the SEC is definitely a buy. I think a lot of those teams look really well. A lot of those teams are getting in the top 10, top 15, LSU, Bama, Georgia, Ole Miss. I was just looking at South Carolina's gauntlet of a schedule, playing a lot of those teams. Even Vandy last week we saw going toe to toe with Bama. Their quarterback is obviously very good, so we'll see how the season rolls out. And one of my picks later, you will see. I'm definitely selling on Texas. They're just Arch Manning is not figuring it out. They don't look good in any aspect. So
I have to buy on Texas for a unique reason. I cannot have Steve get fired because I am a Hokie, and right now I could say we're probably a front runner for best coach that's available. If Steve's gone and Texas is hiring a coach, they will beat out Tech. So I am now going to be an honorary Texas fan throughout the end of the year. I don't think anyone can really hate on that. That's a great reason. But there is a unique game on Friday night. We got South Florida at North Texas, 1.5 point spread. I think everyone and their mother and their cousins and their friends and their pets are all on South Florida. I don't have a pick in this game, but when I see a bunch of people that constantly lose bets tell me how much they love South Florida, I have to take North Texas. I mean, these aren't good betting friends. These are my general group chats where they're like, "Oh, I cannot wait to bet on South Florida." I do like South Florida, but I just can't be with all those guys on one side. Do you have a pick here?
that it's a lot of points. I get it's at North Texas. They don't play much defense, and we saw South Florida. They shut down Boise State, shut down Florida. There was all this hype about their defense. So I could see this definitely being a lower score, not lower scoring, but a total just seems like a lot to me. And I'm sure a lot of people will be on the under, but I also will be on the under.
Yeah. Any pick in Bama, Mizzou? We got Bo, and I think if Bo stayed at Penn State and was starting quarterback, we'd be undefeated right now. Yes, I truly believe that. I'm officially selling on Drew Aller, but it's 3 point spread. Bama on the road, super high over under. I guess not for college, 51 and a half. I'm thinking in terms of NFL right now, but what are your thoughts?
I mean, Bama's really figured it out. I will say I did have Bama last week versus Vanderbilt and was one of the luckiest covers I've ever had in my life and makes me never want to touch them again. So I'll probably be staying away from this game. And honestly, a lot of college games this week, I just think it's going to be an overall tough week. Probably make a lot of my decisions more toward game time and end up losing that way. So
Hmm. All right, let's get straight into NFL. I am gonna hand out some picks. I do think Tulane minus 6.5 against East Carolina is a little bit scary, but a lean Tulane money line. If you want to put them in a parlay, I think Tulane is a good football team. I love Indiana +7 against Oregon. I absolutely love it. I'm gonna be on that. I like Rutgers +10.5, and I will be buying Mizzou up. So right now, I think I'm gonna take Missouri +10.5, Indiana +14.5, and Texas +7.5, coming in at +125. I'm buying on Texas. If you're not, stay away from that pick. But +125 for these teams to all keep it close, and it's bought up a ton of points in each of that. And then I'm also going to take Missouri +10.5 still. They're the ones I don't trust as much. Texas money line, which Dalt probably hates, and Indiana +7.5 at +347. And then I'm going to take Texas, Indiana money line, and we will see how that plays. But without further ado, let's jump into the NFL slate. I actually only have a medium amount of picks I want to give, but as always, we will go game by game. Dalt, kick it off with Denver Broncos at New York Jets. Ugh, European game, 9:30 a.m. Broncos -7.5.
Give me the Jets money line. Give me Jets +7.5. Jets money line. I don't care. I know this is the week. These spots are what I love to get at. When I start hearing bettors and as fans start saying, I've been taking the Jets every week, I'm giving up. That's when I love to swoop in and be like, this is the week that they're gonna figure it out. Broncos are probably still drunk getting off the plane after leaving Philly, beating the best team in the world. We saw last week that the Browns should have beat the Vikings. Just favorites tend to do really well over in Europe, but I just see the Jets kind of on their last straw, give them one more chance, take +7.5.
Yeah, back up against the wall. I will be on Penn State for that same reason too. I did have to slip it in. I wasn't gonna write it down, but you guys deserve it. Penn State will cover this week. Statistically, they can't not cover every single weekend. But though I was a little bit thinking that the Jets could do it, I will definitely be taking +7.5 now. So all right, I didn't have a pick here, but now I guess I'm gonna be waking up early. Next game, LA versus Ravens. No word on Lamar's hamstring. Rams -7. Did that change from 7.5, or did it open at 7?
I'm not sure. I didn't see, but after watching the Ravens last week in Baltimore, with that, I got to see who they have on defense. They were missing 6 Pro Bowlers last week on both sides of the ball. It's just a team that's impossible to read. Like to think that if Lamar's back, Harbaugh will kind of figure things out and at least be in the game. But that Texans team is just not very good. So for them to do that to the Ravens, I have no pick.
I agree with all your takes, but I think Texans are a great team. I will say, not great team. Sorry, not great team, but I don't think they're a bad team. I'm gonna take Ravens +7. If Lamar is not playing, I will cash out so quick it won't even be funny. So I'm taking it now. I will have it probably in a layer or two, but if he's not playing, it's a different world. Next game, Dallas Cowboys. I mean, they're so good. I love cheering for them. I love betting on them, but I don't like them, which is very funny. Their offense is elite. Their defense is not. They are playing the Panthers at 1 p.m. Over under 49.5. Dallas leads the league in total offense, 406 yards a game. That's a serious number. And 3-point line. Ugh. Unique. What do you think? I don't like the line, but
Yeah, the Cowboys have averaging over 400 yards, scoring over 40 points a game. It's just that offense is looking lethal, but they can't play any defense. I was very confused with that line last week versus the Jets. I remember talking about how the Bills came in only being 6.5 point favorites and then blowing them out, and the Cowboys coming in and only being point half favorites and not really understanding that. And so obviously taking the Cowboys and never having to sweat that game. But they're just feels like I'd be an absolute idiot after last week to go and bet against the Cowboys, who are probably going to score another 40 points against the Panthers team in Carolina, but scares me. I don't know why. This is just one that Carolina might pull it out. We will see. It'll be a no pick for me.
Yeah, I will be taking the over in this game. 49 and a half is a lot. I will be taking some touchdown scores. I just see a world where it's like 28-20 Cowboys, if not way more. And then the Panthers march down, score, don't get the 2 point conversion, and they cover, but they don't win. I think Cowboys are going to win. I am going to be taking -3. It's not a pick I'm going to give to the pod, but I will be on it, and I will be giving the pick of over. I think it's going to be a shootout. I think both defenses are atrocious, and I just think Bryce Young is going to score some points. All right, next game, Cardinals and Colts. Give us your thoughts.
If you've been listening the last 2 weeks, you know who my boy is. I've been on him since week one, taking his passing yards. Little hesitant last week. Only went 200 plus. He's just they're just rolling right now. They look great. Dominant win against the Raiders. I think Cardinals just coming off that Tennessee loss. It's going to be tough. A lot of people are probably going to have in that bounce back mentality, but Colts have just been figuring out. I do think this game is going to be a shootout, so I will also be taking the over. I could see the Colts winning by 3 in this one, so the spread scares me. So I do think the Colts win, and I will be taking the over as well. I think that they both Kyler and Daniel Jones throw the ball a lot, put up numbers.
Yeah, look, I like a lot of those takes. To that point, Marvin Harris apparently had a touchdown callback last week. Let's have him get one this week. My big thing is if you're gonna take someone to score, you may as well take them twice because that's where the serious money is made. If you put 2 units on someone to score, put half a unit on them to score twice. If you put them in a parlay, put a unit on them to score once, and then maybe half a unit, quarter unit for them to score twice. That's just the way the world works. I mean, when one QB runs it in, the other one does, as we saw last night. If you want to get rich, you gotta be taking chances. You gotta be taking some of those higher odds, and then if they only score one, you still make money, right? That's what I've been doing the last 2 years. I'm a big supporter. I will be taking Marvin Harrison. I also will be taking Tyler Warren. I took him 2 weeks ago when he had his first touchdown. I didn't take him last weekend. I was very sad. He's just someone I got to ride, just like Ryan Williams. You know, he scored. He scored for Bama. I was very, very happy. Jeremiah Smith scored for Ohio State. I was very happy. I said last week, take them both. Keep taking them both. I actually put a couple units on Jeremiah Smith at -200. Sounds crazy, but I loved it. All right, though. Sorry, crazy tangent. Next game, I think very, very interesting. Seattle Seahawks versus Jacksonville Jaguars. Before I say anything, we are very loyal about our teams. We find our hot teams and we ride them. Last year, Bama, Georgia, some of the more obvious. This year, we've been winning a lot on the Jags. Are you gonna turn against our boys?
We've also been taking Seattle, so it's tough. You see Trevor Lawrence, the way he played against that Chiefs team, winning at home. I know they snuck it out last second, and we like the Jags. It'll probably I don't have a pick right now. More towards game time, get a little bit better of an understanding where the Seahawks are at. I do now that I'm talking, I will be taking the Seahawks money line. Seahawks have not been good on at home this year, like I've been saying. They've just kind of flipped the script on their old habits of having the 12th man. They've been losing at home, like we saw last week, winning on the road. I still think they're a good football team. Sam Darnold's been playing well. He scored every possession last week. He was answering Baker. So I think the Jags kind of similar, riding the high wave. And the spread at Jacksonville only being 1.5 means that neutral site, the books have the Seattle has it as a pick 'em, if not Seattle, a small favorite. So I think that Monday night in Duval was really pumping. The home crowd probably gave him a point or two, was the difference in the game. 1 o'clock game, I just don't see that. I get the Seattle's traveling cross country, but I'll be taking Seattle money line.
I all right, all right. I'm not gonna give a pick in this game. Then I just can't. After that,
Just
I
give
can't
it.
ration
Why
out.
can't you give it?
I all right. I'm going. Look, I'm going Jags money line. I'm going Jags money line. We will be across from each other. I think Seahawks is a great team. I just think they're still figuring out a lot of pieces, and I'm gonna go Jaguars money line. I'm adding that in as a pick. Next game, very interesting, is Chargers versus Dolphins. I mean, I'll just say it. Chargers O line is non-existent with the what is it, 2, 3 starters out. Dolphins are getting better each week despite the Carolina game. I just still think they're getting better. I would love to take the Dolphins plus 5.5. It did move to 4.5 already, so I'm a little bit torn on what to do. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, no play for me. Dolphins too inconsistent. Just tough team to bet on. And the Chargers with their O line, it's really tough to really get a read on the kind of statuses of the locker rooms, just the organizations as a whole. So probably be a no bet for me. That total though is definitely higher than I would expect. That I get the Chargers and Dolphins are kind of known for more explosive plays, especially the Dolphins, but no Tyreek Hill, no offensive line for the Chargers. Makes the under definitely enticing, but probably a no pick for me.
Yeah, and you know what? I'll give you my pick. Depending on the odds, I'm going to take Dolphins defense anytime touchdown scores. I think that people underestimate when you have a good D line, they're all coming back, they're getting healthy, they're getting takeaways, and you have a banged up O line, is actually when you start to see defensive touchdowns. So, unless it's something crazy low, I will definitely be looking into that. I should check the odds now, but before I speak, I'll let you go first. Browns versus Steelers, 37.5. It sounds like it's going to be a fun one. What are your thoughts?
You don't even need to ask who my pick. I'm
Oh,
gonna,
yeah.
yeah, it's it's Dylan Gabriel with the 4.5 points. They probably win outright. Mike Tomlin off a bye. Mike Tomlin off a bye, preparing for the game. Browns have long trouble back from Europe. Just scream Steelers blowout. Why is this total 37.5? I like the Browns plus 4.5. If this, I could also see though this game getting out of control and Steelers running it up and still going under and the Browns can't score. But if it's going to be the low scoring affair, both teams making stops, like I said earlier, I just don't think this Steelers defense is the same that they have been in the past years. Sorry, Brandon. And so, but Joe and Gabriel on the other side also doesn't make me think there's going to be a ton of points put up either. So give me the Browns plus 4.5.
I was going to say, I'm 90% sure, just social media, so we got to fact check this, but I'm pretty sure I saw Joe Flacco. Oh, no. Joe Flacco is going to be starting for the Bengals completely. Okay, opposite. But I was going to say, I saw him as QB1 on some post today. But yes, that's right. The Browns traded him to the Bengals. I'm going Steelers minus 4.5, minus 5.5, minus 6.5. Take DK
What
to
I love
score.
to
Take him to
hear.
score twice.
Maybe six and a
Take
half,
Pat
7.5.
Fryermuth. As you can see, my Penn State bets have not gone well, so this isn't something I'd want you guys to take. But I'm going to be big on it, and I do think this is going to be one where I make some good money. Yeah, Browns defense is great. It's going to be a close game. It's going to be a close game. We're going to win by 10. That or we're not going to win the division. We're not a good team. Aaron Rodgers will only be with us for 1 year. Tomlin's got to go. I do think these next 2 games are make or break. You got to beat a banged up Browns. You got to beat a banged up Bengals the following Thursday night. You just have to. Give me your picks for, I think, the game of the week. The Texas Titans versus the Las Vegas Raiders. What are you thinking?
I mean, the fact that the Titans are 6 point favorites against any team in the NFL is just beyond me.
John, I think you're looking at
Raiders at
I think
home.
you're looking at too much chat GPT. The line is Raiders minus 4.5.
That makes a lot more sense. Give me the Raiders.
Raiders minus 4.5.
Gino's got to figure it out someday or another. He's going to stop turning it over. Cam Ward's just happy he got his first NFL win. I mean, make him win a few before he earns my respect. Gino, like I've said, I've been saying he's gonna throw turnovers. multiple games. Just wait for that one breakout. 400 yards, 4 touchdowns. It's coming this week versus the Titans. Pete Carroll's gonna figure it out. They're in Vegas.
All right, I'm
Give me the
sold.
Raiders.
I'm sold. I like Titans plus 4.5. I actually was gonna take them as a pick, but you flip me. You flip me. Yeah, I got my phone out now. I don't know if we can trust these lines you wrote in our sheet. But next game, which I think is actually very interesting, 49ers plus 3 against the Bucks. You got a pick?
I just that Niners team, bunch of guys coming back from injury, a bunch of guys still injured. The Bucks at home have been a great team, so the fact that this line's only 3 means that the Vegas is making it a pick 'em. I get apparently Purdy's coming back, but after what I saw from Mac Jones and the grit he played with last Thursday, I almost want rather have him in the game. I get Purdy still questionable. I just I just can't get myself to not take the Bucks. We took them last week at Seattle. I will be We'll probably have the Bucks money line. I do think they win, but will be a stay away from me.
Yeah, if Purdy plays, I will be all over the Bucks. I will take the spread. I will take the money line. If Mac Jones plays, I will not touch anything. I will go as far to say if Purdy plays, I think they're going to get smacked. I think Purdy's going through a rough patch. I think Mac Jones was absolutely so fun to watch last Thursday. But on to the next game. We're looking at 425 Bengals versus Packers, minus 14.5 Green Bay. What are you thinking?
I mean, what's the fun in betting this game? So Flacco starting in this one.
That's what I saw on Instagram. We do want to fact check that.
I just struggle to believe. I don't know. I didn't see anything. I just struggle to believe that no practice coming in short week. Not even, I guess, short week, but coming in and starting for a different team in 5 6 days. But I guess he is a 20-year vet for a reason. I think we've seen with that Browns O line how terrible they were, but then again, the Bengals O line is just as bad. So I can't get myself to make a pick in this game.
Yeah, you got to remember too. Green Bay's coming off an upset loss to the Browns, and then a 40-40 tie against the Packers. Like they're gonna
That
figure it out, but do they figure it out by 15 points? I'll go as far to say if you're betting this game with a 14.5 point spread in a 44.5 over under that low, you have a gambling issue. You should probably stop. If you see Green Bay live, sure, grab them. If you want to do that, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, grab them anytime. I love it. Put 1 for 1, 1 for 2. You did that last weekend. You got very rich. I'm cool with that. If you want the Josh Jacobs, if you want the Kraft, get on it. As long as Dalton doesn't have them, then he will fall on the 1 yard line twice. Can't ride Kraft with Dalton ever again after that. But next game, and I do have a pick, and I have a pick I hate with my whole life, but I will be taking it for rather big. Chiefs versus Lions. Chiefs minus 1.5. 52.5 point over under. Oh man, this is gonna be a great, great, great Sunday night game. I'm already excited for it. Don't give me your pick.
Chiefs,
Chiefs, Chiefs, Chiefs.
Chiefs, Chiefs, Chiefs,
Yes.
Chiefs,
I
Chiefs.
love it. I love it. I think that's the play. And I never look over under and then just am like, oh man, I can't take this because of the public's on one way or the not. But when I love something and then I see in group chats people are bad at betting like the other, and then the public's on that too, I get a little bit of joy. And so when I saw that everybody was on the Lions, I couldn't help but smile. So I will be taking Chiefs, but I'm going to be fully transparent. I will have some Lions touchdown scorers. I still think Sam Laporta scores again. I still think he scores two. I think they're going to continue to utilize the tight end. I think the Chiefs will game plan for Jameer Gibbs, Amon St. Brown. Not that they won't score, but I think this is a time where you can get like a Jameson to score, where you can get Laporta to score. It's 52.5. Adult, we can get them all to score. Like maybe that's it all too. I'll put 6 people down for a same game, and I will be waking up for work Sunday super happy. But you got any props in this game?
No, honestly, like I just think the way the last week went, the Chiefs hadn't scored. They didn't score 30 points at all last year. Every game they were winning in close ones. I could very well see this kind of going back to that. being a 24-21 game. Yeah, I just over definitely scares me. That's a high number. I think we saw with the Jags last week, but I also think that was a fluke game. They scored a ton of points in the fourth quarter and second half in general. So I think still will be touchdown scores. I'm sure we'll reconvene and make some decisions there, but I will be taking the Chiefs.
80% of the money is on the Lions. The Chiefs just lost a miserable game to the Jaguars. When I say miserable, I mean they were in control. They made the worst mistakes. A pick six running back, 90 something yards in Arrowhead Sunday night. Chiefs are back against the wall, and what I mean by that is they beat it 2-4. They'd be climbing out of a hole all season, or they can win at home, a bounce back win at home with Mahomes on a Sunday night. ESPN predictor has a 55.4% chance the Chiefs win. 80% of the money is on the Lions. Chiefs don't lose 2 games in a row. Take all the money you're gonna bet for the whole weekend and just put on the Chiefs. Just don't even bet. Just put on the Chiefs. This is one of my favorite picks in so long, and I ride the Lions a lot. I like the Lions as a team themselves, but before I start crying tears of joy thinking about the Chiefs winning, let's get to Monday night. We got Bills Falcons, Buffalo minus 4.5. That is already down to 3.5, or already down to 4 and 3.5 on some books, and then we got Bears and Commanders, Washington minus 4.5. Both games 50.5 over under, very high.
Yeah, both two really good games. I will start with the latter of the two. The Bills going into Atlanta. I just think when the Bills are coming off a loss, the season that they're supposed to have, I will say we did have the half a unit on the Pats money line plus 310 on Sunday. It was a great win pregame. One of the longer long shots you can hit as a money line in the NFL. So, but I do think the Bills win this game by a touchdown, if not more. The Falcons are just not that great at home. And for this Bears Commanders game, I'm sure we all remember how this ended last year in FedEx Field. Just an absolute miracle. I will never forgive I don't care if Commanders win by 100. I will be taking the Bears plus 5.5.
Yeah, don't hate you for that. They're figuring it out. A lot of sharps are on Bears, and a lot of sharps are on Falcons. I know Marco is going to be all over the Falcons. I'm with you. I'll take Bills. I'll buy them up to minus 6.5. I don't mind buying points, and I don't mind buying in the other direction. I think people are so set on just picking if the line's going to hit or not, where I try and, see a whole game through. And if I think a team's going to dominate, then I don't mind taking them to win by a touchdown. I will be probably eating my words at the end of the week. But same thing is, I probably would have to take the Bears up to +7, parlay them with something I kind of like on Sunday. I know most people don't do parlays with different days. I personally don't mind either. Anytime touchdown scores, they're not out yet, so I can't see the full amount. But is Zach Ertz gonna find the end zone again? Is this the game where Daniels runs two in? Is this the game where you can parlay Daniels for two and Josh Allen for two? Maybe. We're out in the comments. I definitely would be taking that now that I said it out loud. But thank you guys for joining us again. We got a name, not sure if we can keep it right now, so that'll be fun. But we're getting this pod out before Thursday Night Football on time. We're gonna blast it out. If you made it this long, thank you guys. Hopefully you're doing okay. You're not too bored in life to sit through all this. But yeah, don't any last words.
Chiefs. Let's go, Chiefs.
See y'all next week.